As most of the internet knows by now, Mascot horror peaked and fell harder than me going down the stairs without my contacts in. However, there has been a small renaissance of Mascot horror in the past few years. While Garten of Banban installment 965 was being released, Steel Wool was cooking and served Security Breach ruin to us on a silver platter, and it pretty much saved the Security Breach tangent of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. But it wasn't just the big cats, no. We also saw the release of Indigo Park, a fantastic take on the Disneyland map turned torture house concept. The game was made by one developer who I believe is relatively new to making games, so for a first run, this is pretty insane and it deserves all the love and attention. While not perfect, it puts Mascot horror back on track towards glory as a genre. We also got Poppy Playtime Chapter 3, which we all know helped out that IP a whole lot in regaining the title of horror and managed to bring a lot of fans of the genre back. With these powers combined, a new Mascot horror title released last week, as of the time I'm recording this, just in time for Halloween. May I present Finding Frankie. Before I go much further, hello, my name is Dexter Lee and welcome to another certified classic on the channel. If you end up liking what you see or hear, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe while you're at it. We're trying to reach 5,000 subscribers by Christmas, so let's make that happen. In the meantime, other ways to support me are through my Patreon and Ko-Fi, where I have exclusive content starting at just $1 a month and open commissions. You can also support me for free on Patreon, but also on my other platforms by following my Instagram and TikTok, found through my link tree in the description below. You can also find it in the card icon that's going to be up on screen right now. Okay, got all that? Alright, let's get back to it. So as much as I wanted to give you all some more Minecraft gameplay for background, I have been itching to do some Finding Frankie fan art and figured that this would be the perfect time to do it. And speaking of which, my Twitch is working again. You all wouldn't know this because I saw the numbers, but I streamed on Halloween for those of us who weren't doing anything, and the stream actually went on for 2 hours. Most of it was because I was having dinner, but I was mostly drawing some Finding Frankie fan art that you can now find completed on my Instagram since I didn't finish it on stream. And don't worry if you missed the stream, you can still see the progress and the process of the drawing because I uploaded the stream to the channel earlier this week. I have to rework my streaming schedule because of my classes, but for now, just turn on the notification bell to stay updated on my community posts where I will announce stream dates and topics. Okay, now that I've officially gotten sidetracked again, let's get back on topic. I had no idea Finding Frankie was even coming out, if I'm being completely honest. I knew nothing about it except for this doco video right here, which I instinctively looked over because as much as I love Lewis, he plays any slop that comes out. So when I saw the title Finding Frankie and looked at the ooh spooky rabbit thing, I kind of just scrolled past the video and moved on with my day. However, later that week I opened YouTube to watch some Queso and I saw the same gameplay on his channel. Even though Queso plays a lot of weird games, I love him as a figure, so I decided to give it a try. Little did I know, clicking on this video was about to unleash something I was incredibly unprepared for. Most of YouTube is describing this game as a Mascot horror version of Fall Guys, which I can understand. We have Wipeout-styled stages, parkour, spleef, the whole bit. But doing parkour stages in a brightly colored environment doesn't automatically mean it's exactly the same, and I think calling this a Mascot horror Fall Guys severely undermines the game as a whole. There are a lot of references and coincidental moments in the game that can be tied to other IPs, but you can tell that there is a lot of original pieces here that allow Finding Frankie to be its own original piece. The game opens with a stellar title sequence, and it's fully animated with a total bot playing. I saw someone actually complain to the music artist, his name is 3Fs by the way, saying that there isn't a good enough loop on the title screen music, which I think is the most nitpicky thing I've ever heard. You might as well be complaining that your E. coli burger from McDonald's has a little less bacteria than usual. I think that criticism can be completely eradicated because it holds literally no significance once you see what the game has to offer. So here's a bit of summary. We open with a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory type sequence with, again, another fire track that gives us some exposition. There are golden tickets, VHS tapes, planted in Frankie cereal boxes that act as a ticket into the Frankie game show that offers a prize of $5 million to the winner. Then we're planted into a little hallway to get ready for our live-streamed game show. We put on the Frankie suit and get ready to run the race, only for us to be immediately thrown to the slaughter as the entrance flings open and unleashes a horrifying monster that wastes no time in eating, crushing, and ripping apart on competition. He can get you too, but the idea is to slip by him while he's distracted. And boom, we're in the game. We get a tutorial for how to do the basic parkour moves that come in handy and for the rest of the playthrough, and we are also introduced into the concept of turning these breakers on within a certain time frame to unlock our next section of the map. Speaking of the map, this place is huge, but not in an unrealistic way like Garten of Banban and Poppy Playtime. This is more of like Security Breach huge, with only one part making it a certified modern mascot horror. The Burning Trash Pit. What is it with these games and having 50 sublevels and a pit of doom at some point? Anyways, I can't remember the exact playthrough and I'm not gonna go look it up. I highly recommend watching Queso's video as it was very entertaining for me. But we get to see other characters and the mechanics of each of them, plus different locations and accompanying music that keeps the player engaged the entire playthrough. There is never a dull moment with this game for sure. The character ensemble goes as follows: Frankie, Normal Frankie, Henry Hotline, and Deputy Duck. Naturally, people will try to say these names are uninspired because of the alliteration, but you do remember the characters because of it. Frankie is the main big bad. He constantly comes after us at really any given moment that we aren't either in a safe zone or with Henry Hotline. And leading into him, Henry Hotline is literally Alistair Phone Guy. Like, watch this. This isn't to undermine the character. As a matter of fact, he kind of looks like Rebordnica's Phone Guy. I think he's actually really cool, and he is actually really unique. He has the toy phone for a head, and he is portrayed as this almost mob boss type character until we actually interact with him and come to find that he is quite grisly to look at. Deputy Duck is also a bit of a shock because he's literally just a living Fazwatch, but the gimmick Deputy Duck serves as actually progresses the game and adds for a useful item. At least I think so, I kind of forgot what all he can do. Then we have what I'm calling Normal Frankie because he addresses himself as just the real Frankie and doesn't outright attack the player. But he does force us to do spleef with the evil Frankie while the hardest track plays. That's a very crudely summarized version of the game. Again, take time to watch someone play it like Queso, or just get the game yourself and play it. Anyways, this game perfectly understands the concept of mascot horror. The monster is not explained or given a sense of sympathy. There is no true ringmaster, there is no crazy lore, there's no ridiculous monologues that take you out of the immersion, and it doesn't rely on cheap jump scares either. It relies purely on survival instinct. In a way, this game is like FNAF if you could move but never leave. I hate to say this, but I did get a Squid Game vibe for a little bit, but I hate Squid Game, so I'm gonna pretend I didn't just say that. One of the best parts about this game is that there is no catharsis. Just when you think it's over, suddenly the player is alive and somehow survived the crash with Frankie after spleef. Just after we pull the most aura points for the baddest walk I have ever seen, we think it's over. We think we've won our money and we can make our lives better and be free from this torment. But no, we can't leave. Frankie won't let his shining star leave. Renewed for another season and perhaps suggesting a sequel game, we don't get to leave. We are stuck with Frankie and we're stuck in the game show because we are the only ones to ever survive it. When I tell you that this game surprised me, like it absolutely shocked me with its quality in every aspect, and I wish I saw more people in the art community talking about this game. But honestly, I feel like the reason behind that is mascot horror fatigue, or horror fatigue in general. Everyone seems so focused on other things, and it makes sense that another mascot horror IP would fly under the radar. Everyone probably did what I did and just ignored it. But I implore you all, if you enjoy horror, if you enjoy awesome tracks, and if you especially enjoy parkour games, this is the game for you. And no, I'm not being paid to promote this game, although it seems I've been asked to promote quite a few things lately when I haven't. A lot of things I've enjoyed this year have been ignored by the masses, and honestly that reflects more about the masses than me. Regardless of that tangent, this game is worth it, and it may take over my channel for a bit. If not that, then at least my Instagram. It makes me really happy to see a game that piqued my interest based on the game itself and not the characters initially. It's quite refreshing, and if I wasn't a total scaredy cat, maybe I'd play it. But I know I would panic too hard to even enjoy it. Well, that's all I really have to say. I really am just promoting the game at this point. I know that if I was ripping this game, then perhaps this video would gain more traction, but I have nothing negative to say about it, and the developers and everyone who worked on this game should be very proud of this accomplishment. But that's all I have for you today. Thanks for sticking around to the very end, and since you're still here, how about you leave a like, comment, and consider subscribing while I have your last string of attention. And just a quick reminder to check out my Linktree where you can find my Patreon, Ko-Fi, Instagram, and TikTok. Giving any of those a follow would be greatly appreciated and would help me out a whole bunch. But until then, thank you all so much for watching, and without further ado, let's roll the outro.